Hello and welcome to my studio. I'm Naomi from Pigeon Art and Happy New Year. We're currently in early January 2024 and I thought I'd do a quick video on all of the projects that I did off camera in 2023. In this video I'm not going to be talking about art projects, so this will be mostly sewing, knitting and crochet and a couple of random DIYs. These are not in no particular order. I will get started. So the first thing I thought I'd show you is this very wrinkled satin pillowcase. So this pillowcase I made from fabric that I bought to make pajamas out of, but when it came, I bought it online, and when it came it was a lot thicker than I had expected. So I was hoping for the thin stuff, but you know, when you buy online and you only buy discounted fabrics, you don't get much of a choice. So instead I made 3 pillowcases. And I did French seams for, I think, what must be the first time in my life. There are things I could have done better, like snip these bits that are coming out because of the French seam. That fabric was a pain to work with. Ironing it did absolutely nothing to it. Because it's a polyester satin, I needed to use a lower heat setting, and no matter what I did, it wouldn't fold. It wouldn't leave a crease. I will be making more because my niece and nephew saw my pillowcase when I was at my mum's at Christmas and they would like one as well. Some of the good things about a satin pillowcase is your hair doesn't get as messed up when you have wavy hair like mine and you try not to brush it every day. It helps. It's also good for your skin, etc. If you have the means and you are not vegan, silk pillowcases are better. Okay, so my second project is these pants. These you might remember from a flip video of my wardrobe. They were what I call deconstructed pants, where they don't have side seams and you do up the back and then do up the front, or other way around, whatever it was. I didn't like the deconstructed pants for a couple of reasons. The split on the side, if you sat down, your underwear was showing. It was impossible to stay sort of modest, even though I liked the way they looked when I was standing up. They just weren't practical. I ended up sewing up the side seams, adding a elastic band and a pocket out of pants that were ripped. Now, I didn't do a very good job and I'm not going to be fixing it because I have now worn them to beyond their abilities to be fixed. So they're also way too wide. I should have taken in some of the excess fabric when I added the side, and I would always trip over them. Not always, but I would trip over them. So there were things I learned from this. Yeah, I think I'll be reusing this fabric for something. Moving right along, I have been making it my business to finish my stash of yarn. This is all yarn that I've been given or had bought many years ago and just never used. I have been knitting quite a few scarves, a couple more there, to donate. And these were just the ones I did in the second half of the year. Around June, I donated a whole bunch more. So it went to a women and children's centre in Sydney to keep them warm in winter, which is over the June, July, August time. So people who are just needing a little extra help at the moment would be able to pick from them. They're not amazing just because I had to do what I could with what I have. For example, this one, I didn't have enough of either the thick one or the thin one to make a whole scarf, but I made a scarf that sort of has different textures, the same color, just different textures, and hopefully someone will like it. A lot of them aren't long enough, so they will have to be children's scarves. This one is one of the longer ones, so, and it's with a rib stitch. This one's one of the shorter ones, although they do stretch. This is one of the longer ones, again with a rib stitch. I need to stop making scarves that are just the stocking stitch or stockinette stitch because they just curl up. Still have a lot of weaving in to do. That is the bit I don't like doing, so you know, it'll get there. And this is the other one I did as a stocking stitch. My favorite looking stitch, like it's just so lovely, but yeah, it just curls up like this and I don't think it looks as nice. So I will continue going through my stash until May, June-ish, and donate them again. There's no point me donating them now. I don't want the charities to have to store them for another 6 months or whatever it is, 4 months even. The next thing I did was this mat, which I use on my computer. You might remember my patchwork skirt where I took out a few patterns because it was just too much, and I also bought this colour. So I had lots of leftover of this fabric. As you can see, it is all flat cut one colour on this side. So in this one I decided to practice making French seams, so you can't see it, but all of these are connected with French seams. It basically keeps my arms warm from my desk in winter, which it hasn't been since I made it, so and it's a little bit of ergonomic padding on your arms if you're at your computer for a long time. The last thing that I can actually show you, although it doesn't look anything like what it did when I first made it, is this cow toy. This is what it looked like at the beginning. I made this for Benji, who was a foster dog that we looked after for 3 months. I wanted to get him a few toys. I made him a sheep toy on camera. You can watch it there if you like. But this was out of old jeans, and I've put some crinkly what's it called? So that when he chewed, he would, you know, enjoy that crinkling noises. That was something he really liked chewing on, toys that had those. And I actually have a pattern for it. This one was all hand sewn, so it doesn't look great, but I actually have a pattern for it. I've been meaning to make a video and then releasing the pattern with it. That was at the beginning of last year, so it's been a year and I haven't done it yet. It would have been good to do it before it got destroyed, but that's too bad. Too bad. So a couple of things that I've done off camera that I have not filmed because although it's one of my hobbies, it's not what this channel is about, are puzzles. I've done quite a few. I couldn't tell you how many off the top of my head. And I've done this 3D puzzle there, and I've also done one that's downstairs that I have received for Christmas this year. Mostly I do flat puzzles. Those are the only 2 3D puzzles I have done. But yeah, I'll put a few photos of ones that I have done lately. Another project that I've done is this gingerbread house that I made, which is also a shelf decoration. It is now in the bin, so I can't show it to you, but because I just decided it was made out of cardboard, hot glue, tissues, paint, and you know, that sort of thing. So it wasn't worth keeping, which, you know, it took up a fair bit of space just to use for a couple of weeks in December. I can always make another one, or I just won't use it, you know. My work held a Christmas hat decoration competition, so I decided to make this hat, and because we were on Christmas Eve, we were going to be going gingerbread house making at my cousin's place. I decided to wear it there too, so it, you know, it got used. So the next one was this granny square that I did as a test crochet for a subscriber. Put it this way, she wanted someone who was new at crochet to tell her if her instructions made sense. They did make sense. My abilities to follow them were not as good, so there are a few mistakes on it, but it looks awesome. When I'm a little bit more competent, I will try and make more of them and maybe make something out of those. Okay, so my next one was a very small project. I was noticing that my teacup at work was leaving tea rings on my desk, and I didn't like that. So I crocheted myself a coaster, a little project that didn't take much time, but is getting used every day that I'm at work. I hand sewed some lace onto a pocket square for my friend's wedding. My friend's wedding dress had a huge amount of lace on it. She wanted to get her husband a pocket square, or her husband to be, but current husband, a little pocket square made out of silk with a little bit of her dress's lace, so that, you know, they would be sort of matching. So the pocket square itself was already sewed. I hand stitched with tiny little stitches the lace on there, which was absolutely lovely to do because it was the most beautiful lace. And yeah, and she was really happy with that. Second last project that I did off camera that I can remember, there were probably more, are some brioche hand warmers. I worked on them as a test to see if I could turn that into a pattern to release a video. I don't have them because they snuck their way into the wash, and because they're wool and I don't wash on cold, they shrunk to within an inch of their lives, and therefore I can't show them to you. What I can say is they didn't work as hand warmers. They were too large and they'd bunch up and too big and whatever. So it doesn't matter because they really didn't work as well as I would have liked. Okay, so finally, this one's in between. I sort of started filming. I filmed an introduction for this project. I filmed some little bit, but my heart wasn't into the filming, and it's almost done and I hardly have any footage. It's a granny square singlet. I'll show you what it looks like right now. I'm currently in the process of weaving in all the ends, so you're going to see quite a few of them. So one of the reasons I wasn't filming, this was honestly the last couple of weeks of December, my brain wasn't working. I just needed something kind of mindless to work on. And I also did it when I was around people at my mum's house, so I didn't want to film there. I'll show you what I did film right now. So I hope you enjoyed those little, I don't know, what do you call them? Stop motion clips, and like how badly they were done. But yeah, that's where my brain was at. So anyway, I will be finishing this off. This is something I can wear over a singlet or something like that in between seasons. Okay, so those were all of the projects I did in 2023 without filming. The main reason being because I need sometimes to have a project that I'm not worrying about filming and being on camera. Yeah, sometimes I don't want to be in my studio and I just want to be in with Luke, working on some things. I was going to do my goals or plans for 2024 in this same video, but honestly I don't really have any. My goal is to stay on YouTube, not quit, and to not burn myself out. So let's see how we go. It's been really good this holidays. For the first time in 2 years, I've actually taken the 2 weeks that I get off over Christmas to just recuperate. Last year, every day I was making a different video just to try and get ahead. And then the year before that, I was going away on holidays. So after those 2 weeks, I went away on holidays. So I needed to do as many videos as I could to not miss a week. This was back when I was, doing weekly videos. So this has been really good. I'm still feeling tired, but much less like I'm going to burn out like I was before the holidays. So I'm still going to continue without a schedule, just posting when I post. I'm going to wrap it up here because the cricket's on as of right now. As always, whenever there's a cricket match in Sydney, it seems to rain, and it looks like it might be raining today. So I'm going to wrap it up now so that I can go and watch the little bit of a cricket that might happen before it starts raining. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, feel free to give it a like. It really helps me out. I upload some Sundays with art, DIY and sewing videos, and I hope to see you then. Bye!